said before, quality is quality. It almost doesn't matter where you go. The same ideas and principles apply. Heck, the same ideas and principles apply even when we're not talking about quality management. Virtually any management system has some of the same key and critical components. We can talk about health and safety. We can talk about environmental management. We can talk about quality on an oil field. We can talk about a machine shop. It really doesn't matter. We have the same basic components in place. Some of the same components. They're all anything that deals with a management system. So some of the basic requirements of a management system are going to fall on a lot of what Edward Deming originally wrote in the 50s and 60s. It is a system, and a system is interconnected processes where one is a handoff to another. When you can develop these processes that interconnect and work with each other, you're developing a system. A proper management system is going to ensure that you can identify what folks need to do, document information. We all have document information systems, whether it's your specifications for the part that you're machining, or whether it's the lockout, tagout sequence of steps. We've all got documented information, so we have to have good documented information. But that in itself is only as good as our ability to disseminate that information. So we have to have a competence and training program. Competence and training program may be a formal sit down in a classroom environment. It may be on the job training, but we have to define what those competence and training requirements are. When do we need to keep records? When's awareness good enough? When's previous experience good enough? But we define all those. And guess where we define those? Back in our document information system. So then we need to identify some goals, some objectives of what we're doing. Why does this system even exist? Take this rule for anything that we decide on, any procedure, any training program, any project, any initiative. Why does this exist? So for your company, for instance, why do you exist? What are you there to do? You can take each little piece of that and ask that same question to it. Why does this exist? And eventually you're going to get down to a level where it's hard to give much of a better why. And this is where you have your quality objectives, or perhaps your health and safety objectives, environmental management objectives. You've got certain objectives that validate success or failure. So we're going to document those objectives. Again, back to our documented information management system. So in taking all of these pieces together, you can then start to look at all aspects of your organization through the same lens, through the same light. And this is very valuable because having these separate silos of knowledge for each function of your organization, whether it's the health and safety program or perhaps the design and development team or the sales team, you want to make sure that we can integrate all of these processes together. And that's what I mean when I tell folks that quality is quality. It really does not matter the aspect of your business that you're working in. The same principles apply. We have to have documentation, we have to have training, and we have to have clear goals and objectives that we then monitor and measure. We take action to correct when there's a problem, and we seek to continually improve. And so those of you familiar with the ISO standards basically just recited the entirety of the standard. And that's because quality is quality, regardless where in your organization you go, what organization or even industry that you go to. We have to make sure that we have these fundamental pieces in place.